Welcome back to Simply Scratch Kitchen. My name is Hannah if you're new here, and we have the pressure canner out today. That means we are going to get some more delicious food items stocked on the pantry shelf. And today is something new that I have not done with y'all before, and we are canning beans. So dried beans from the shelf, because I have been to the store lately and buying organic canned beans is like $2 a can now, and I know that I can make them for at least half that price, if not about 50 cents a can. So I just couldn't buy it anymore, and I needed to get some more stocked on my shelf. So that's what we're gonna do today, and it's gonna be really fun. So let's get into it. As always, I am starting by prepping my jars and my lids. I'll be using the regular mouth lids today for my regular mouth jars. So I've just washed these and put them in my drain rack so that they are ready when I get started with heating them in my canner. We're gonna get the canner going. This is the Presto electric canner, and this is really great for beans because they have to pressure can for such a long time and you don't even have to watch this. So we've got it on the pressure can setting. We're gonna hit select, and I've got my pot filled up to the water line. And then we're gonna turn the dial up to 75 minutes because with this batch we're gonna do pint size jars of beans. So it's gonna be 75 minutes. If you use your quart jars, you wanna make sure to do them for 90. So we're gonna hit select, and it's gonna have us put our jars in and put water in the jars, and it's gonna heat those through for us. So for this first batch, I'm going to use probably 6 pint jars in here, or as many as I can fit. I've got a kettle with warm water here. And it looks like I can go ahead and fit a 7th pint jar in here, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that. Okay, I've got my last jar here. This will fit about 7 pints at one time, and because we're processing for so long, I do like to make sure my canner is totally full just to make it worth my time. So while these are heating, we're gonna work on getting our beans prepped to go in jars. All you're gonna do at this point is pop your lid on. You're gonna take this off your pressure gauge, and you'll pop this down. And this is just heating the jars. You're not gonna build up any pressure yet. So once those are all in, you're gonna hit the next button there, and it's going to warm your jars, and it's gonna beep when they're all ready. I've had these beans soaking since about noon yesterday, which is really even a little longer than you need to do them. But this is going to help the beans expand a lot more and even get slightly sprouted. So these are going to be really easy to digest and derive nutrients from this way. And so we're going to get these strained off so that they're ready to go in the jars, because we don't want to actually put this water into our canning jars. So we're going to just dump these into a strainer and rinse them, and then I'll be back. Okay, my beans are all prepped and ready to go. If you're interested in where I get such large amounts of beans for a great deal, I like to order these from Azure Standard, and I'm able to get at the smallest like 5-pound bags. And so in each of these bowls I have about 3 pounds of dried beans, and this is going to go quite a long way. The reason you want to soak these first is it's going to help the beans expand and be more digestible. Because if you put dry beans in the cans, which you can do, you have to leave a lot of headspace. Sometimes they expand too much and your jar isn't going to seal. And you also just get a more kind of squished and compact product if you don't soak them first. I've done pinto beans that way before, really just dry without any soaking, and the bottom half of my pinto beans were basically refried beans. So I'm going to try this method of soaking them first and see if that gives me a looser bean texture, because I want to be able to use these in soups and just like for Mexican dishes here. Okay, the canner has beeped, and as you can see it says fill jars, so we're just going to pop our lid open here. I'm going to start pulling these jars out. I like to do one at a time so that they stay nice and warm. And then I'm also going to get my kettle filled up and hot because this is the water we're going to be adding to our beans. We're just going to empty the water out of our jars and start filling it with beans. I'm going to do a mixture of black beans and pinto beans in this load, and I'll show you how much headspace we want to keep in these because it's going to be a lot more than any of the other products you've probably canned. So I like to keep all of my products on a towel just so they don't burn my countertop and so my jars don't get too cool. This is about as full as I'm going to fill this, and then I'm going to get my kettle of hot water and we're going to fill that up. I'm just adding the water up to about a 1/2 inch from the top, and that'll be good. You can also add salt to these if you want, but I decided I just want my beans plain and I'll season them with whatever I'm adding them to. I added a little too much water to this jar, so I am just scooping that out before putting my lid and ring on fingertip tight, and just make sure there's nothing on your rims before you seal them. I'm doing the same thing again here with my black beans and just continuing until all of my jars are filled and my canner is filled as well. All right, everything is in the canner. I've got 3 pints of pinto beans and 4 pints of black beans. And I'm gonna do some quart jars here in just a minute. And when these are done processing, we'll put in just a batch of quart jars. And I like to do more quarts with my pinto beans because this is perfect for making refried beans. So what you're gonna do is just put your lid on here, and then you're going to turn it into the locked position, and then you're going to take the arm and pop it in like that. Once that is all ready, you're going to press the next button, the arrow there, and it's going to heat. This is going to heat and start coming to pressure, and it's going to beep again when you need to put your weight on. So this is going to take maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and then listen for that beep so you can put your weight on, and then it will actually start the canning process. All right, our canner is beeping and it tells us to put the regulator on. So you're going to take it and pop it down this direction where the words are, and that says vent here, and we're on can. We want it to be on can right here because that's what we're doing in pressure canning. And then we're gonna press the next arrow. It's gonna switch to 75 and it's going to start canning. You're going to have water sputtering out the side for a little bit, and that's okay. It will be fine, and it's all set to go now. You don't need to do anything else. All of my jars came out of the canner, and then I put in another batch of 4 quart jars of beans, and those all sealed as well. So I am well stocked up on my pantry shelf now, and this is all the stuff we got done today. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, and I will see you next time. Be sure to subscribe for more.